And I would like to clarify, when I say renewably, I mean like technically an infinite source, such as the quartz that you can get from villager trading, or diamonds that you can get from villager trading. Those are technically renewable because the villagers never really run out. It's, that's a supplier, as they say in business lingo. That is a supplier, a villager providing, diamond armor, diamond tools, maybe a mending book. That would be having a supplier, and thus they are technically renewable, because it's not my job to make sure that they don't run out of stock. That's their job. If they do run out of stock, they stop earning money. Therefore, they have a very obvious motivation to have renewable stock. If they don't make their supply as renewable as their demand, then they're going to very quickly find that their resources are going to very quickly evaporate, as it were. Why did I randomly leave an item lying on the ground over here? What's less coal? Coal is a useful one. Why would I leave that on the ground? It must have gone flying. Okay. Hello, lapis lazuli. And iron. More lapis. More iron. Just go ahead and collect these. Okay. That's going to require more lighting, because I want to be able to see what I am carving out. Okay. Now, I want to do the same in this direction, where I carve 2 layers in this direction. The reason why I'm carving these layers is because, well, I'm currently standing in the floor. I have carved out the floor a little bit because I plan to replace the floor with an actual, properly decorated floor. However, I additionally needed to gather the materials from the ceiling. This isn't going to work as normal. Okay. I'm going to need to climb up here. I suppose that technically means it is working as normal, because this is kind of normal. I just gotta climb up to the ore and just gather it all up. That's kind of normal for me. And I just boop. And we're good. Okay. We do not have much inventory space left. Therefore, I shall stick to clearing out the floor for now. As the floor goes rather quickly. Now, recently I have tried playing some StarCraft 2. I have no idea where that guy spawned. I recently tried playing some StarCraft 2. I believe it was the Wings of Liberty expansion. Specifically, I was progressing through the campaign of StarCraft 2. And I believe that's the Wings of Liberty expansion for Chapter 1. Turns out StarCraft 2 is a lot harder than it looks because you have to do all of the micro, which is micromanagement, if you're not familiar with the terms of real-time strategy and, player versus player and all that. Competitive gameplay requires some very adept reflexes, some very active reflexes. I don't have those reflexes yet. I haven't honed them to their, combat fit, their combat ready status. As Penny from Ruby would say, combat capable. Penny always says, I'm combat capable. And it's like, well, I'm not, because I haven't trained as much. I haven't sat there honing my reflexes against an opponent that I may or may not need to actually finish off. Instead, I've just been playing games like Minecraft, where I can take my time, line up the shot, relax, and then boom, one nice controlled hit, task's done. StarCraft doesn't have that. StarCraft has a lot of RNG, random number generation. StarCraft has a very lot of RNG, actually. There's RNG in unit movements, idle animations. They just threw RNG at the game basically and said, okay, now we don't need to worry about RNG manipulation. It's like, yeah, you're right. You don't need to worry about RNG manipulation, because if anyone manipulated that much RNG, they would be manipulating your entire game. They just kind of built the entire game on RNG. And it's like, I mean, that's one way to prevent RNG manipulation, is to just build it into everything. Therefore, if I really want to optimize how I play StarCraft 2, I have to either control an entire game's worth of RNG as I manipulate the RNG that way, or I can just get good at reflexes, you know? I could do full game RNG manipulation. It's very difficult. It's not easy, but it's doable. You know, it's very difficult, but it's doable. I don't want to do that though, because while it's doable, it's not very fun. You know, it doesn't provide me with some form of entertainment. It, if anything, detracts from the entertainment value of the game, because I'm sitting there focusing on what the next RNG value is going to be, or what the next approximation of RNG is going to be, which is actually more accurate for how one would manipulate an entire game's worth of RNG. Is you would actually want to go with an approximation in order to guess which peaks and valleys you're at in the RNG. If you manage to guess wrong, well, then you're going to find out soon enough. Probably not immediately, because, you know, that's RNG for you. It's kind of difficult to actually track. But you'll find out soon enough, because, you know, that's how RNG is. Eventually, you will realize either you are on course or off course. It's a binary formula. It's a binary equation. I mean, there's not much else to consider for it. You're either on course or you're not. I actually want to double check all of these areas, make sure. Okay. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't, like, you know, clawing my way into an area that I needed to do more stuff for. Okay. Now, I can very easily just kind of load up on on all of this material. Make sure I don't have any partial stacks of materials that I can have partial stacks on. There we go. I can eat on the way back. I'll make a few trips. And then I should have everything all neatly organized. Eventually. Let me go ahead and polish these diorite. As well as the granite. As well as the andesite. Hi. They seemed eager. Okay, diorite, and then andesite, and then granite. We've got ore as well, lots of iron, lots of redstone, a little bit of lapis, lots of coal. Let's go ahead and grab the slime off the ground here, deposit that. And then we want to go over here to the dirt, which is right here. We want to go over here to the gravel, which is here? No, here, yes. And then across the way to the stone, which is here. Yes. Move it into there. And then, do I have anything down here for gunpowder and bone? No. I think I need to actually go to the surface for that. Therefore, I shall go to the surface for that. Should be daytime if I'm not mistaken, or at least evening. Ah, it's rain. That's what it is. Well, it's not nighttime, therefore I'm just going to keep on going. Because I'm trying to get over to here, where I have gunpowder and bones and rotten flesh. I almost forgot that I was here to deposit rotten flesh. Okay. Now I get to run all the way back over to here. I get to check on the pumpkin farm real quick. Almost 3 stacks of pumpkins. That's good. Get to check on the kelp farm. Craft a bunch of fuel. Come on, craft a bunch of fuel. Restock the fuel. And then throw the fuel there. Additionally, I will restock on how much cod I am carrying. And it would seem that the bed is currently not able to whisk the rain away. That is fine, however, as I am heading towards my mining outpost. Okay. Now, we want this barrel. We need to go retrieve more materials from our work area. We're going through an autosave as well, and that's good. This allows us to make a moderate amount of progress. Which, as you can see, we have made quite a drastic amount of progress already here. We just need to continue on our efforts. As we continue taking out zombies with a bow and arrow. And occasionally a sword. Now, I can hear the slimes. I know where the slimes are. They're right over there. Like, it's not difficult to locate them. Like, I know where they are. I know there are slimes. Don't get me wrong. It's not that I don't hear them. I'm just choosing to ignore them and their slimy noises. Because I have more than enough slime for all of my needs. I've been hunting slimes for a very long time in my save here. There's been a lot of slimes that have spawned over the months that I've been working in this area. This is very near world spawn. You know, this is one of the first maps that I made. This is a map of the area around world spawn. That's where I've been building all of this, and the reason is quite simple. The Ender Dragon on Bedrock Edition is notoriously hard. It's infamously hard, in fact. It's not just notoriously difficult, it's infamously difficult, which means it is famous for being difficult. It is bad fame, you know. It's famous for being bad. And the reason why that is relevant is because that's why I've been spending so much time focusing on infrastructure, on all of these little, you know, these little side quests that normally people would not really worry about before going to fight the Ender Dragon. Most of the people on YouTube don't seem to focus on the preparations for the Ender Dragon. They'll just go fight the Ender Dragon, and it's like, well, that's great, but what if you die? You know, the nearest End Dragon entry point is like 1,000 blocks away. Okay, first off, I want to be able to get there easily, so I want to be able to not need to run the entire way when I die. because if I jump through the portal, for example, it'll take me back to world spawn, which is where I've been working, here. Therefore, when I beat the Ender Dragon, I'll have to run all that way again because I didn't work on infrastructure. That sounds like a terrible reason to need to run all that way again. Instead, I would much rather have a minecart ride all that way. Go up about 1,000 blocks on a minecart and minecart track, and then throw an ender pearl. Since that is the nearest end portal, is about 1,000 blocks to the north. That's the closest one to world spawn. This is a dangerous ore vein because there are a lot of different things in the area that could very easily lead me into lava. I didn't really check how much lava was in this area. I checked the areas around this area, but I didn't check this area. Yeah, I am at bedrock level. Okay. Well, that's good. It wasn't as dangerous as it could have been. I shall fill in this area with gravel in order to make sure that I don't need to worry about this area ever again. At least until I come back through to, fill in the basement. Which will happen once I have mending. Oh my. Okay, well, that just filled in something. What did that fill in? Did that just fill in lava? I think it just filled in some lava. Just randomly fills in lava without me knowing. I suppose. I normally like keeping track of what gets filled in, but whatever. Here we go. Right. That's going to be a bit of an issue. Let me go down here. There we go. Okay. Let me just get some of this. And then the next thing I can do is I can actually start filling in all of this area with the polished stone in order to start building up the spawn proofing in this area. So that way I don't have to deal with skeletons and zombies and all that spawning constantly. Now I want to go with polished granite. Can you get the polished andesite? I can't. Okay, well, I'll start with the polished granite. Polished granite is very easy because it's literally just a line. And then there's this line of polished granite. Which is additionally very easy to work around. 1, 2, 3. And then leave a space for the lantern. 1, 2, 3, leave a space for the lantern. 1, 2, 3, leave a space for the lantern. Now I need more polished granite. 1, 2, 3, leave a space for the lantern. Okay, and then we want, oops. Then the next thing we want is, let's see, andesite, diorite of 3, and then this. So we want there. Okay. Yeah. We want this to be properly filled out. This is not properly filled out. I see. I must have cut some corners on this back end here. I will probably need to go through all of this in that case, because yeah, it's supposed to be right there, right there, right there, right there, and right here, and right there. Oh no, I know what it is. This is a 3 wide. I was like, I must have cut some corners, and it's like, oh, nope, that's not what it is. What it is this is a 3 wide, means this is supposed to go like that. So yeah, this is fine. Oops. Just needs to be wrapped around like so. Now for the andesite. which has similar issues. Okay, let's go ahead and place down some of these torches in their proper places. Let's place one there and one over here. Yeah, I need a lot more pumpkins, I know. I believe I additionally need to gather a lot more of this material. Therefore, I am going to grab all of this, turn it to my storage. That should help me recover a vast majority of resources. Oh, I could have grabbed one more. Hi, slimes. Bye, slimes. And they despawned. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's world spawn causing me lots of lag. Because that's where I have the majority of these torches. I have a lot of torches all over world spawn. Therefore, if I had to take a guess as to where to go to combat a bunch of lag all at once, it would be world spawn. However, I'm not here to combat world spawn's lag at the moment. I will eventually get to that, because I don't really like having the lag. It's kind of annoying having it just pause every now and then while I'm on a minecart. And of course, having all of the monsters eventually slow down to a crawl for their movement is not exactly the most entertaining thing either. However, as long as the game continues to function normally, to a degree, I do believe that this will work. I want to check on this. And store the extra arrows there. I suppose I could store the bones up there as well. I don't need to store them up on the surface anymore. Yeah, I think I will. Matter of fact, this would actually be a good opportunity for me to go to World Spawn and collect all of those torches. Now that I think about it, because I do need more lanterns, and I have plenty of pumpkins, but I'm kind of lacking in the torch department. I need more torches. Therefore, it would be kind of beneficial to me if I went and collected a bunch of torches. And the place where I have the most torches currently is World Spawn. Therefore, I guess it kind of would be a wise investment for me to go over to World Spawn and collect all the torches. I'm going to collect these bones as well in order to provide a single location of storage for all of the bones. As you can see, World Spawn is coated in torches. So much torch spam. So little regard for where all of the torches are being placed. I'm going to go through real quick and just clean up torch spam. And do a fly. And let's just dig our way over to this river here. Which, as you can see, is quite the distance away from the other side of this hill. Yeah. Plenty of dirt and grass being collected here. Go ahead and climb up this hill. Let's try that again. Let's climb up this hill. Collect all of these items which were left on the surface. Now, despite the fact that it's becoming nighttime, I want to actually continue working, because there are more than enough light sources to keep me safe, or at least there should be, to keep me safe in this environment. And it's playing torch noises. Or it's playing cave noises when I'm not in a cave again. Hi, spider. How are you? Oh, that's a drowned. Okay, well, I'll kill you with the looting sword then. Oh, you didn't drop any copper. That's unfortunate. I thought it was that spider that was crawling at me. Turns out, nope, it was drowned. It's like, okay, well, whatever. I can handle some drowned showing up. I literally have diamond armor and an iron sword, and if I wanted to, I could have a diamond sword. You know, I can handle drowned showing up. I can handle spiders showing up. What I can't handle is the lag. Bane of Arthropods wins again. Oh wow, really? Wow, really? Okay. In that case, let's finish off this and make a trip to the redstone component storage, I guess, because that is taking up a lot of space in our inventory. Ow. Phantom. Ow. Again. Phantom. I recognize the sound effect of the monster. Ha! I'm in a bed. And now you're burning. Where you at? Oh, I guess they despawned. But yeah, that was kind of painful. Just having phantoms swooping down like that. Not nice. Redstone component storage. There's observers. There's pistons. There's dispensers. There's magma blocks. There's hoppers. More observers. And yeah, I guess that's it. Okay. Oh, I suppose I can store the string down there with the mob loot as well. Running over here to retrieve the items off the ground. Now that I have inventory space, because I have offloaded a bunch of materials. Yep. We are literally cleaning up world spawn because A, we need torches, and B, we need to clean up the lag. There's just so much lag lately. And I decided, you know what? It's time to clean up some lag. So here we are, cleaning up lag. As a result, we get all kinds of resources, in addition to getting some processing power back, which is always nice. Didn't want to aim down. There we go. And apparently I dug straight through the ground, despite the ground being solid. Not sure how that worked. My shovel was digging so fast, I phased through the ground. I mean, I've done that too, actually, now that I say it. Because, you know, Minecraft being weird. Something about an iron shovel with efficiency 5 is capable of breaking reality? I don't know. It's weird. That would be the section for the water elevator that is linked to the mine down below. Yes, I shall need to adjust the height of that water elevator, by which I mean I need to reduce the height of that water elevator by 1. The way I do that is very simple. I apply a block of dirt to the top. Very simple. Speaking of which, it would seem my inventory has filled up once again rather quickly. But I still have just a wee bit more space I can fit things into. Therefore, I shall attempt to, at the very least, collect the majority of the items into one, like, coalesced section. You know, like, for example, I've got a stack of jack-o'-lanterns here. Come on. Craft. Thank you. Does it help if I craft on this menu? It does help if I craft on this menu. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's exactly the kind of lag I'm referring to, where it doesn't seem like it's lagging until it's like, what do you mean until? Well, until you go and do this. It's like, but that shouldn't have any impact on it whatsoever. Yes, it shouldn't, but it does. You're just looking at it going, really? Really? Okay, let's go ahead and take this moment to go ahead and lay out the various pumpkins for carving, because that's one of the things that's just taking up space in our inventory, and because it's one of the things that I'm actually just placing on the ground in order to have inventory space. Therefore, since I need to carve these anyways by placing them all down on the ground and, you know, taking some shears to them, I will go ahead and lay them out now down here where I am working on all of this stuff. And this will allow me to get a decent amount of, progress done on carving all of these pumpkins. Bloop. Then I'm going to have the second row of pumpkins start over here. I mean, I suppose technically it's the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th row of pumpkins, technically speaking. But you get the idea. Let's go ahead and grab the last bits of pumpkins off of the ground. Apparently there was only one, yet it had an item showing that it had like 4 or 7. It did not look like it only had one pumpkin left in that stack. Anyways, onwards to the shears, which should actually wait. I should wait on the shears, because the shears are going to cause me to create a lot of pumpkin seeds, and then I have to pick up all the pumpkin seeds, and then I have to throw them all in the composter. And that's just a lot of work in the meantime that I could be doing as one trip instead of multiple trips, but if I did it right now, it would have to be multiple, because I'm limited on inventory space at the moment. Okay. Now I have plenty of pumpkins to carve, and not really much else to do about it. Oh, one thing I could do. I could actually travel over to here. I could theoretically use the bed over at the Iron Golem farm, so that I have used a bed recently. I shall do that. Yeah, this is another area that's going to need more light, is just, pumpkins, is the Iron Golem farm. Fortunately, it's already got the pattern down pat. It just needs, the lanterns themselves. Okay, now that we're riding in our minecart, going top speed towards the base, we can go ahead and eat. We can organize our inventory a little bit so that it's easier to sort everything out once we're there. Yeah, we'll technically need to come back for that. Okay. We have made a lot of progress in our travels. We didn't even have our inventory, we had our inventory open the whole time. We didn't even have our inventory put away. We were just organizing our inventory during that entire process of travel. And now we can go over here. We can throw into this storage chest the bones, string, and we already put away the arrows. That will then filter down into here with that bone and that string. Meanwhile, we want to go over here. We want to deposit the dirt to go... I suppose we want to go over here to the grass. We want to withdraw that grass and then go over to... How much grass did we have? Oh my, that's a lot of grass. Okay. Now we can easily go about collecting all of these lovely lanterns into a single location. Okay, we want stone because we have one stone for whatever reason. And then we need to visit, what's next? We need to visit the sand and rotten flesh. Sand and rotten flesh are both up top. Therefore, let's go ahead and take this guy out. Make sure he didn't drop anything in the other hoppers there. Now we can go up to the surface. Come on, up, up. Sprint. Sprint. Thank you. My character was all the way up against a wall, like frame perfect, so they wouldn't sprint. It's like, that's kind of lame. Deposit the sand. Good, we have more than one stack of sand. If I really wanted to, I could actually gather up the large majority of these vines because I do have the shears on me, which means I have that ability where, you know, I can harvest them up. I just don't. If I wanted to, I could actually make all of the cactus full auto as well, because I could just harvest all of the leaves. I forgot that I was over there to deposit rotten flesh. Let me just swim through the water for this. Hard to believe that I actually have almost 9 stacks of rotten flesh. But I do. What's even harder to believe is that's not even worth a stack of emeralds. Okay. I'm just going to go through 2 rows at a time here because it's just easier for me to scan line it that way instead of going through 4 lines at a time, which I could also do, but not as easy. Technically 3 lines is probably the optimal amount, but I set it up with 4 in mind, so I kind of wanted to use 4, but I kind of didn't. Oops. There we go. I find it amazing that you cannot directly enchant shears. You have to use an enchanting book to enchant shears, despite the fact that shears actually have one of the largest numbers of uses in the game, because you can use them to shear leaves. And leaves are just awesome because nothing spawns on leaf blocks,